to protect Americans when sanctuary politicians won't. Republican Congressman Greg Murphy of North Carolina joins me now. I'm curious about what's going on there, Congressman, because state law in North Carolina forbids the creation of sanctuary jurisdictions, does it not?
Yeah, it does, John. However, you have sheriffs there, you have city council, you have county commissioners that basically say ignore the law. And, you know, we saw what happened in Charlotte just several months ago with the horrific attack on the light rail. This is a real issue in Charlotte. You know, we had several members of Congress calling for the National Guard. The Fraternal Order of the Police have done the same thing. You know, we want our citizens to be safe. This is what our government is supposed to do. And I'm glad, for one, that they're picking up these individuals to make the streets safer. I have a family that lives over in Charlotte, very close to really what happened in the light rail. And so, for personally, I'm very glad to see this happening.
Yeah, Tom Homan is the border czar, and he says this is really just the beginning. Listen.
You're going to see more operations in more major cities, mainly sanctuary cities, because that's where our biggest problem is, because public safety threats are released every day, and we know it. So you're going to see a lot more of this coming in most major cities across the nation.
And he's right. It's the craziest thing to my mind. You know, some of these people get arrested and they've got violent criminal records, but because they're picked up in a sanctuary city, the arresting agency will not turn them over to ICE.
Yeah, this is insane, John. You know, the whole situation just kind of reminds me of back in the days of, I'm older than the other folks, maybe you remember this, the Muriel Cuban issue when a lot of the countries allowed these criminals to come out, and we had 13 to 20 million individuals come into the country during the last administration. This is the result of this. And for the fact that liberals are now protecting these individuals, we're trying to protect them by getting these violent criminals off the street. I wish they would understand that. I'm not sure they quite will. But that said, it's still the right thing to do for the American public and, if need be, in Charlotte.
Yeah. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, says you hang out a shingle that says Sanctuary City, all of a sudden you're inviting trouble. Listen to the Attorney General.
We talk about these sanctuary jurisdictions, and people, it jeopardizes the lives of our men and women in law enforcement. And the citizens that live there. Because people, if you were an illegal alien, a criminal, a TDA, MS-13, a gang member, where would you go? To a sanctuary city?
It certainly makes sense. If you're not going to be turned over to federal agents because you're in a sanctuary city, that'd be the first place I would go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it kind of puts a bullseye on your back, though. I mean, if you're saying you're a sanctuary city, you're basically saying you're not going to obey the laws of the United States. And I'm glad, for one, we have a president and an administration that is going to enforce the laws. Finally, we look at the disaster from the last administration, and yeah, the liberals are going to have their feelings hurt, et cetera, with seeing people picked up. But this makes our streets safer. These are criminals. They need to be picked up, deported if need be, put in jail as an alternative. This makes America safer, and it should never gotten to this point to begin with. Had not happened with the result of the last administration.
The president sent the National Guard into Washington, D.C., sent it into Chicago. Things seem to be much improved there in terms of violent crime.
They are. And, you know, at first it's, you hear about, well, the federal government's coming in and the police are coming in. It makes the streets safer. Again, this is a reaction to what happened from the Biden administration. They let these individuals come in the country illegally. They're causing crime and rampant across America, in our neighborhoods, in our streets. And, you know, it's time to turn the tide, time to swing the pendulum back towards law and order. And I'm glad that they're doing this.
And, you know, the focus here is on violent illegal immigrants. I mean, they're not necessarily looking for, you know, somebody who came in to clean motel rooms or wash dishes or something like that. They're looking for the bad ones.
Yeah, and John, you know, sadly enough, every so often somebody gets picked up that doesn't fit this whole persona, but the liberals just want to talk about that one person rather than the MS-13, the gang members, et cetera, the murderers, the rapists, the other folks that are really wreaking havoc among the country. We have to, you know, sometimes there's going to be a little collateral damage, sadly enough, and hopefully those people just get turned and put out free. But again, we're trying to right the wrongs of the last administration to make our streets safer.
North Carolina Congressman Greg Murphy, a Republican. Thank you.
Thank you.
A shock.